Wow, what a game. Absolute madness, bro. Man United 3, Liverpool 2. And United, they got the win. They've secured Champions League football, but they made it so much harder than it needed to be. First few minutes, start of the game, they came out the hungriest side. They looked hungry, they looked purposeful, out of possession. They pressed Liverpool, pressed that backline when they were in possession. Like I said, very purposeful with the ball, always looking to go forward. Everything was at a quick tempo. It was like classic United from back in the day. Nothing too complicated in terms of tactics, in terms of, there were patterns of play, but it was just direct. Out of possession, they wanted it, they were hungry, they were compact when they needed to be in the early stages, but when they got the ball, they were absolutely devastating, and especially those first 15 minutes, like I said, they were so good. And then the goal came. Cunha from the corner. He had one crack at it, then back on his left foot, had another crack at it. Deflection off McAllister for 1-0, and it was fully deserved. Liverpool, they didn't come out to play for those first 15 minutes at all, you know what I'm saying? And then Man United, they kept the pressure on. Like I said, this was classic United. Man United as a team, as a club, in my opinion, have never been a team where it's not like Pep Guardiola, where it's like tiki-taka football. It's a lot of, tactics. It's a lot of, complicated stuff in possession, out of possession. Man United, for me, even under Fergie, have always just been a team where it's just like, they just keep it very basic, very simple. And in that first half, that looked like a proper United team. Off the ball, press high when you need to, stay compact when you need to, and then when you get on the ball, attack, attack, attack. That's what they're all about. Playing the ball forward on the front foot every single time. And obviously the second goal came. Wemo, he gets on the ball, plays a nice slide ball to Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes, we all know his quality, man. He's already seen Sesko. He knows where Sesko is. Plays that little ball across, that little reverse ball across the goal. Sesko slides in there. It gets saved. He may have been fouled. I personally thought that he got fouled, but it didn't matter in the end because the ball got picked up. Cross came back across. Bruno again headed it across, and then Sesko gets the tap, and it came off the keeper, and then it hit Sesko and went in. Obviously, there was a little VAR controversy, but in my opinion, you can't give that as a handball. Like, the ball's barely scraped his fingers. It's obviously not intentional. They had to give that. In my opinion, if they had disallowed that goal, hey man, VAR, that would have been an absolute joke thing. But yeah, United, they go up 2-0, fully deserved, you know what I'm saying? Fully deserved. But then Liverpool had a little period. Where, you started to see Gakpo finding spaces, Florian Wirtz finding a bit of space, Szoboszlai and Gravenberch finding a bit of space in that first half. They didn't create too much, but they still had chances, There was the Gravenberch had a little pop shot straight at Lamons. Gakpo had a good chance where he got it first touch, tried to wrap it around the corner. I'm pretty sure Florian Wirtz had a chance as well. So Liverpool had a few chances. There were signs in that first half that, Liverpool could score. I know it was shots from, edge of the box, 25, 20 yards, but still, there were always signs, especially through that midfield, that they kept getting in. The spaces between the midfield and the defence were a bit too big, you understand? I feel like Kobbie and Casemiro on the ball, those first 25, 30 minutes, they did control it. However, towards the end of that first half, you did sort of start to see like, alright, cool, spaces are starting to appear. And I'm surprised that Michael Carrick didn't change anything, you know what I'm saying? Especially as I start talking about that second half. I'm surprised he didn't change anything. He didn't tell them to, just stay in their shape, because it feels like they went up 2-0. They were cruising, They could have won this game 3-0, 4-0 if they had just, stayed in their shape and then hit Liverpool on the counter-attack, because Liverpool ultimately would have had to come out, had to start playing, and then the spaces would have appeared for United. But ultimately, in the first half, it was all looking good, you know what I'm saying? 2-0 at the break, United cruising, and at that point I was thinking, this game might be dead and buried. Because what I was expecting Carrick to just, shut up shop, just tell them, stay compact, just stay compact and hit them on the break, you know what I'm saying? Then we get into the second half, Sesko comes off. I don't know if that's an injury or if that was a tactical thing. I don't think Sesko was injured. I didn't really see any, sort of injury. Maybe it was. But then the second half starts. And then the second half, I'm thinking, United might be in business. The ball comes over, literally first few seconds of the second half, ball comes over, Virgil van Dijk, I don't know what he was trying to do with that header, but he just misjudges the flight of the ball completely, and then Mbeumo's in, and then Mbeumo wins a corner, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, it's going to be one of them days. United are in business, Van Dijk starting to make mistakes, Liverpool started the first half very, very slowly, and I was looking like they're going to start the second half very, very slowly as well. So the corner comes in, Maguire heads it wide, and then all of a sudden, momentum just flips out of absolutely nothing. Momentum just flips, and Liverpool find themselves back in the game where Amad Diallo, you know, he just come on. You know, when you come on as a sub, we all know you have to get up to the speed of play. You know, he got the ball, drives inside. He didn't really have any options from his centre mid. I'm pretty sure Kobbie and Casemiro were both ahead of the ball. They had both sort of advanced, so he couldn't play into the centre mids. He tries playing like a little square ball across that. I'm pretty sure it's either his left centre back, or the left back, or Luke Shaw, and he gets intercepted. Szoboszlai intercepted. He looks like the only Liverpool player that actually wanted it on the day. To be fair, it's been like that all season, you know what I'm saying? Szoboszlai has been really the only one to really stand up, you know, have some pride in this Liverpool team. He grabs the ball, starts driving. I thought he was going to play it out to Frimpong. Frimpong was the option. Frimpong was running. He was coming onto it, but he just sort of chops back onto his left side, takes 2 more touches, and then just slides it into the bottom corner. Absolutely quality finish from Szoboszlai. And then at 2-1, it's like, yo, Liverpool out of nowhere back in the game. In my opinion, before that, they looked dead and buried. I was like, yo, how are these guys actually going to score today? But Szoboszlai, he did so well. Just read the pass, intercepted it, and he just kept driving. 1-on-1 versus Maguire, takes it on his left and slides it into that bottom corner. And then from there, after that, United, a few mistakes started to happen. It's like the momentum shift. It's like the game completely flipped. United were doing what Liverpool were doing in that first half. Liverpool were losing the ball, being careless, especially at the back. United were the ones pressing, winning the ball back high, creating opportunities. And then the game just flips out of nowhere. All of a sudden, I'm seeing, you know, guys like Aiden Heaven making a mistake. Aiden Heaven made a mistake. I'm pretty sure Kobbie Mainoo had to foul. I'm pretty sure just before that, someone else gave the ball away, and then it led to another Liverpool free kick, which Szoboszlai put in. A very nice ball, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, the momentum just absolutely flipped. Guys like Szoboszlai, Gakpo were getting on it. Even Frimpong was seeing more of the ball. Gravenberch, McAllister, they started to string a few passes together, and it was like, yo, what's actually going on? At that point, I'm just thinking, yo, United just need to settle. But then, bro, Lamons in goal. Now, Lamons, this season, he's been very solid, very reliable, you know what I'm saying? Very solid, very reliable. Man United fans still have PTSD from, you know, Onana. And what's the other goalkeeper's name? Onana and Bayende. They still have PTSD from them too. So Sonny Lamons coming in, very, very good, very solid goalkeeper. But I don't know what he was trying to do here. That pass into the midfield was never on. McAllister does well, because if you actually look at the replay, he's faked to go one way, and then he's quick on his feet, and he's got the ball. Just shuffles, quick on his feet, gets the ball, fires it into Szoboszlai, and I think Szoboszlai does so well here. Just to have the composure, just to touch it into Gakpo, because the pass was really fired into Szoboszlai. He showed great composure there to just pass it in, just lay it into Gakpo. Gakpo first time finish, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's 2-2, and I'm thinking, yo, how have United actually fumbled this? Like what is going on? Literally, Liverpool were dead and buried. If you watch that first half, you would thinking, yo, this game is finished. There's no way, especially United at home, you know what I'm saying, with the crowd with them, you're thinking, there's no way, this game is dead and buried. But bro, I don't know what happened. United, they started giving the ball away, they lost their shape. Even when it went to 2-2, I'm seeing Casemiro playing alongside Mbeumo up top. I'm thinking, yo, everyone, United, it just seems like everyone just needed to relax. You know what I'm saying? Everyone needs to just get back in your shape and just relax. Just relax. Do what you did in the first half. Press when you need to press. Sit back when you need to sit back. But the entire team just lost their shape. Guys started giving the ball away, and I was thinking, this was so needless. And yeah, at 2-2, hey, even after the goal at 2-2, Liverpool still looked like the side that they could go on to win this. Like I said, Szoboszlai was influential. Gakpo started getting more of the ball. Liverpool started having winning a few fouls, winning a few free kicks. Gravenberch winning a few free kicks, and it was looking like, yo, there's no way that Man United are actually going to give this game away, especially with that Old Trafford record. Like, that Old Trafford record, obviously with the result today, is still intact. But I was looking at it, I was like, yo, 1984, Man United have never lost a game that they were winning at Old Trafford at half time. They've never gone on to lose that. But I was thinking, yo, if there's a day, it's looking like this one, especially with Liverpool being their bitter rivals. It's looking like, yo, Liverpool might actually go on to do something. But yeah, Liverpool just kept coming at United. They just kept coming at United. They just sort of overpowered them. The midfield two of Casemiro and Kobbie in the second half, it just felt like they looked a bit leggy. I'm very surprised that Carrick didn't change anything. Like, for me, if I was him, obviously I'm not a manager, but if I was him, I'd be looking to change stuff because they were getting seriously overrun. You know, so Szoboszlai and Gravenberch, obviously they're two big guys, two powerful athletic midfielders, and you know, Kobbie was getting overrun, Casemiro was getting overrun, Casemiro was getting dragged. You know, he was way too far. Kobbie was getting overrun. And I was just thinking for Man United, I was thinking, yo, maybe they need to add another midfielder in there. Maybe, you know, he's not the best on the ball, but maybe just bringing on Ugarte just to sort of settle things. You understand? Bringing on Ugarte just to shore up that midfield, whether it's playing with Kobbie Mainoo or Casemiro, or it's just replacing. I would say replacing Casemiro, you know what I'm saying, and just letting him sit there, because like I said, Casemiro after about 57, 58 minutes looking very leggy, started giving the ball away, and it was just a bit like, yo, is Carrick not gonna change anything? Because if it continues like this, I was thinking at the time, I was like, yo, yeah, Liverpool are just gonna have chance after chance after chance. I'm pretty sure there was a Szoboszlai free kick as well where he crossed it in. There was a little ricochet. I thought for sure that ball was gonna end up in the back of the net. I don't know how it stayed out. I'm pretty sure Lamons made a good save. But yeah, bro, like Liverpool, like I said, Liverpool should be gutted about this game. There was a period where they literally could have taken it out of United's hands. They could have got that third goal, potentially a fourth, you know what I'm saying? But ultimately, Man United, they rolled their luck at times. Rio and Gamoa came on, and then eventually he lost his man. He lost Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw made that overlapping run. He's run past Gamoa. The ball gets played into Luke Shaw. He puts it into the box. Alexis McAllister, very poor clearance. You know what I'm saying? Very poor clearance. You gotta get your foot on it and just clear your lines. He's absolutely sliced the ball, and then obviously Kobbie Mainoo, he's run onto it. He's pressured by Szoboszlai as well. Szoboszlai's to his left side, but it doesn't matter for Kobbie Mainoo. Concentration on the strike, absolute quality. You know, we all know the quality Kobbie Mainoo has, man. When it comes to just technique on the ball, just a technical footballer. You know what I'm saying? Dribbling, passing, shooting. When the goal went in, I wasn't even surprised. He just sort of got that calmness, that composure. We all know, we saw the goal against Wolves when he won the game for Man United in, like, what was it, the 94th minute. We saw the goal against Liverpool a few years back where he sort of turned on it and he's curled it and he's curled it into the top corner. We know what he's capable of. He's just absolutely just side-footed that into the bottom corner, you know what I'm saying? A lot of players will come onto that, sort of try and use their laces, try to strike through the ball recklessly, but nah, he has the composure to just sort of slide it into the bottom corner. He's one of my favourite players, me personally, so I like seeing that from Kobbie. So yeah, Kobbie, he won the game 3-2, and yeah, Man United get the win, but they made it so difficult for themselves, you know what I'm saying? So difficult for themselves. It was needless. It was very bizarre. I was thinking, yo, all they had to do was just be compact, just like they were in the first half. Be compact and just press how they needed to press. Like, Michael Carrick's changes, they confused me a little bit, you know what I'm saying? They did confuse me a little bit. Obviously, United still won the game. It ain't cost them anything, but I don't know how Casemiro survived 90 minutes. Not because, you know, he was bad on the day or he's a bad player, but simply just because he just looked very leggy, you know what I'm saying? I thought surely Ugarte would come on. Obviously, Ahmad came on at half-time. I was surprised at that. I was thinking, why is he changing it? You know, keep Sesko on. Then he brought Xerxes on. Again, I rate Xerxes as a player, but I'm just thinking, in that situation, yes, Xerxes can hold the ball up. That's probably what Carrick was thinking. He's probably thinking, yo, Xerxes, he's tidy in possession. He can hold up the ball for us, link into play, and he did that quite well a few times. However, I was thinking, surely you've got to bring on either an extra defender earlier on, or you bring on a guy like Ugarte just to shore it up. He brought on Lenny Euro, but Lenny Euro, did he even play a minute? You know what I'm saying? He didn't even get a full minute, a full 60 seconds on the pitch. So yeah, Michael Carrick's changes, it baffled me. It baffled me that he just didn't get his team and just be like, yo, stay compact, you know what I'm saying? Stay compact. What are you doing? Especially to Casemiro. Casemiro, even I remember there was one time where he was apologising on the sideline because I'm pretty sure he went flying in on a challenge. I think it was on McAllister or something. He went flying in on McAllister, left a big gap in the midfield. The ball goes out to Rio Ngamoa on that left side. Nothing came from it, but something good have came from it. I'm pretty sure that's the one where Ngamoa has the shot and he goes wide. I saw Szoboszlai going mad at him. Szoboszlai thought that he should have got the pass. I personally thought Rio had the right to take on that shot. It wasn't too far away. He just had to sort of just wrap his foot around it, and then yeah, he would have scored. But hey man, Man United get the win. They secure Champions League football for next year. After that disastrous league season last year, after, you know, coming, what was it, 15th, losing the Europa League final to Spurs, and hey man, they secured Champions League football. And I like what I'm seeing from this United team. You know what I'm saying? This United team, like I said earlier, it looks like a proper United team. Nothing too special tactically. It's very simple, very basic. But I feel like that's Man United as a whole. I don't think Man United is this like mad footballing institution like a Barcelona or like an Ajax. I don't mean that as a diss. I just mean that as like, yo, you look at even their best teams. You look at the 99 team, 4-4-2. It's just 4-4-2, and then you just 4-4-2, stay compact, do the basics, and then you just let the individual quality shine through. You know what I'm saying? You look at the 2008 team. Once again, 4-4-2. Compact, and then you got the likes of Carrick himself, you got the likes of Scholes, obviously the guys up top, Rooney, Ronaldo, Tevez. But you just do the good things, you do the basic things, and then you just let the ballers ball. And I feel like that's what Man United have done well under Carrick. You know what I'm saying? Just make it more simplistic. You know what I'm saying? I know Ruben Amorim was trying. You know, he trying his 3 at the back formation, and it could have worked. 3 at the back isn't really a thing where it's like, it's not really the 3 at the back system. It's just whether you can get your players to buy in, you know what I'm saying? Because we see teams play a 3 at the back system and it working. Obviously, we saw Palace last year. They went on to win the FA Cup. They were playing a 3 at the back. But the thing was, for 3 at the back, you need to have the right players and you need your players to buy in. With Man United, it was an awkward fit because, you know, you had Bruno Fernandes playing as an 8. You had him playing a lot deeper than he's more. Obviously, he's more effective in the 10, you know what I'm saying? He's more effective further up. You had him playing a lot deeper than he would have liked to play. And then there was obviously just a few players who didn't really fit that system. Whereas Carrick, he's just come in and he just simplified it, you know what I'm saying? Carrick has just simplified it, and he's just let the likes of Cunha, the likes of Bruno, the likes of Mbeumo just have these moments to win the game for United. As for Liverpool, that first half, it was very lackluster, you know what I'm saying? It was very, very lackluster. I was looking at this Liverpool side, and you know the way I said that this Man United side sort of represents what United are all about, you know what I'm saying? Simplistic, do the basics, and then play on the front foot when you're in possession and attack. Liverpool, compared to like the Jurgen Klopp days, this team just looks so different, you know what I'm saying? This team looks so different. I know there are still a few players from that Jurgen Klopp era. They've aged a little bit. Van Dijk is older now. Robertson is older now. Obviously, Salah didn't play today, but Salah's older now. You know, you have a few players that were still from that core, still from that, you know, Jurgen Klopp team. However, it just looks like such a different team, you know what I'm saying? Like, they lack physicality. They were getting bullied in that first half a little bit. You look at their players, you look at a player like Florian Wirtz, McAllister. I feel like them two in particular struggled with the physicality, especially. They struggled with the physicality. Like I said, Robertson's aging. I feel like he was struggling that first half on that left-hand side against Bruno and Mbeumo, you know what I'm saying? I feel like there was one time where he brought Mbeumo down. Ref didn't give a foul. I personally thought it was a foul, but yeah, Robertson was struggling with the physicality. And this Liverpool team, anytime I watch them, it's just very lackluster, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't seem to me that there's any energy with this Liverpool team. It feels like, you know, Szoboszlai will do something, he'll get them going. Gakpo might do something, he'll get them going. Gravenberch has a few runs, but overall, they just look very dead. They don't look very lively. They don't look like they're enthusiastic. They want to go press. They want to play football. They want to, you know, be on the front foot. Unlike with Jurgen Klopp's team. With Jurgen Klopp's team, you know, home and away, you know what you were getting. It was just front foot, front foot football, you know, even if they were away from home, going to Old Trafford, going to the Etihad, going to the Emirates, they still wanted to, you know, they still wanted to stick it on you essentially. You know, they had Firmino, they had Mane, they had Henderson, Wijnaldum. Obviously, you know, guys like Florian Wirtz, McAllister are probably more technical players than, you know, a Henderson, a Wijnaldum. But, you know what I'm saying? But they lack the physicality. When the game gets quick, it seems like they lack physicality. They you know, they want to play the nice passes. In the first half especially, Liverpool were playing a lot of nice passes in front of Man United's defence and midfield. But Man United were compact in the first half. Like I said, they were just compact. They were just happy to let Liverpool do their thing. Florian Wirtz, Curtis Jones, McAllister, they, you know, were just like, yo, have it. You know what I'm saying? Have it. They're not really causing too much of a threat. And I feel like, yo, Liverpool need to invest heavily this summer. You know what I'm saying? They need to invest heavily this summer. There's a lot of their, majority of their signings haven't really worked out. You know, you look at a guy like Kirkes. I know he just came back from injury today. There were reports he got injured in training, but you know, there are games where Kirkes came in to be the starting left back, but Robertson has been starting because Kirkes hasn't really hit the level. He hasn't really done what Arne Slot has wanted him to do. Same with Frimpong. Frimpong was signed as the right back, but now I'm watching the game today. Who am I seeing at right back? I'm seeing Curtis Jones, a centre midfielder, converted into a right back because Frimpong couldn't do the job. And even as a right winger, in my opinion, he's not a right winger. He's very, very average. He's sort of like the typical definition of a wing back. He's just in between. It's like he's not defensively sound enough to be a right back, but then he hasn't got like that ability to be a right winger and really cause his fullback problems. I feel like fullbacks know with Frimpong, he's just got that one move where he'll get the ball, he'll start a step a few times, and then he'll just go on the outside and cross the ball. You know what I'm saying? He's not really a goal threat. He's not really a guy who's gonna, you know, cause fullbacks problems. He's like a typical wing back. So that signing didn't really work out. With Florian Wirtz, you know, we've seen flashes, we've seen signs of Florian Wirtz. I think he's gonna be a very good player next season. I feel like when he adapts, when all the guys get back, I feel like he's actually gonna be a very good player this year. But he didn't come in and light the world on fire like we thought he would. Like a Cherki at Man City, for example. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Isak's been injured. He missed pre-season. Ekitike, he was been their best player, their best attacker by far this year. He's just torn his Achilles. He's probably going to miss the majority of next year. We're probably not going to see Ekitike until probably about March of next year. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, Liverpool, they're in problems, you know what I'm saying? They are in problems, especially with the expectation that they had this year of competing for the title. Now they're in a Champions League race. I still do think they are going to get Champions League. I do think they're going to get that 4th position, just ahead of Aston Villa. But yeah, like I said, it's looking like they're going to get Champions League, so they need to heavily invest in that squad. As for United, they got Champions League football. I think it's been a very, very solid season for them, especially, as you know, they didn't start great with Ruben Amorim at the helm, but Michael Carrick's come in, he steadied the ship. Like I said, simplified a lot of things, and now they look very, very good. You know, Bruno Fernandes looking very, very influential. He didn't get the assist today, the 20 assist mark, but still, once again, had a huge part to play. I remember there was that one ball Casemiro played over the top, and he took it down. I was like, yo, this guy is quality, man. Last summer, when he was rumoured to leave for leave for Saudi, I think was it Al Hilal? I can't remember which Saudi team it was. 100 million Al Hilal. Obviously, from a financial side, from the club, I was saying this at the time as well, from a financial side, it does look like good minutes. 100 million for a 30-year-old, you know what I'm saying? A 30-year-old who's already been at your club for 5 years, in a time where United are sort of in this transition period. It looked like good business, but I sort of knew myself, like, yo, he's still so vital to the team, you know, not just his quality. He brings that quality, he brings that calmness, but also that leadership, that dog. Bruno has definitely got that dog in him. He's definitely got that leadership trait in him. He's got that dog in him. The only thing I don't like personally about him is that he's always on with the ref, you know what I'm saying? He's always in the ref's ear. I always imagine if I was reffing a Premier League game, oh my days, Bruno Fernandes will get on my nerves. He's talking to the guy, especially because Bruno's a number 10. He's in the middle of the pitch all the time. I see this guy, he's conversating with the ref every 2 minutes. But apart from that, hey man, he's quality. He's quality. He's quality. He works hard. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure he's 31 now, but he's still not slowing down physically. Physically, he still does the hard yards, still puts it in, still shows passion. And it's not a surprise why, you know, he's a fan favourite of United. You know what I'm saying? I think he was quality today. I think Kobbie Mainoo, in parts, you know, I think on the ball, as always, he was quality, turning players, you know, good passes, took the goal very, very well. But that midfield between him and Casemiro, that's another area Man United need to invest in heavily in the summer. That midfield, because because it's looking like Casemiro can barely last an hour, you know what I'm saying? It looks like as soon as we get to that 57, 58, 59, 60 minutes, it's like Casemiro's legs are just going, you know what I'm saying? The legs are just going, the gaps in the midfield need to open, so Man United need to do some business there. But yeah, as for the game, it was a crazy game, man. Crazy game, man. United made it way harder than it needed to be. Liverpool did well to get back into the game. Shout out to Szoboszlai and Gakpo for getting them back in the game. But yeah, ultimately, United secure Champions League football and they get the win in this mad contest.